السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, today we are continuing from where we stopped in the previous lesson. And if you can remember, we're looking at a brief seerah about Khalifa to Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. And then we look at part 1 of it. In this lesson, we are going to look at the second part of his seerah. So without wasting much time, let's just begin. So that's why you can see here too. Manner that is, this is part 2. So the author begin by saying that walam yuhdith. So of course we are continuing. This is a continuation of the first part of the seerah that we saw in the last lesson. So that's why he begin with wa. Wa is a harf al-atf, a conjunction. So of course it means that something has already been said. So he says that walam yuhdith Umaru munzu waliya dabbatan. Umar didn't bring something new. Ahdasa, the verb here is ahdasa. Ahdasa means to bring something new. People are used to a particular way of doing something. Then you bring a new way. That is ahdasta. Ahdasta shay'an. You have bring in something new. I hope that is clear. To come up with something new. So he says that walam yuhdis Umar muzu waliya dabbatan walam ra'atan wala jariyatan. Umar didn't bring a dabba, a ride, a camel or a horse or anything. Walam ra'atan, nor a woman. Wala jariyatan, nor a slave. Okay, slave worker, those who work for masters. He didn't bring any of these things. He didn't add any of these things. You know, when a king need a ride, okay, a horse or a camel, a ride that is specifically for him. And so such as women, okay, he has to marry. Most kings marry several women. Wajariya, and then slave. Much as kings like to have more slaves to be working for them. But they're saying that Umar didn't introduce anything of that sort. The life he was living when he became the Khalifa, he didn't use that opportunity to add more rice to to the number of rice that he had, or to add more women, to marry more women, or to add more slaves to be serving him. He didn't do any of such thing. Hatta lahiqa billah, until he joined Allah Azza wa Jal. Lahiqa, the verb here is lahiqa. Lahiqa yalhaqu, it means to join someone. Okay, to join someone. Someone is somewhere, and then you join the person. That is lahiqa, lahiqta bihi. I hope that is clear. Until he joined Allah. Literal meaning until his death. Walam yura dahikan munzu wali al-khilafa. And he wasn't found. Walam yura, he was not found. Dahikan, laughing. He was not found laughing. Munzu wali al-khilafa. Since he was given the responsibility of the khilafa. Since he took over the khilafah. Hatta laki Allah, until he met Allah, meaning until his death. So from the time he became the Khalifa until his death, he was not found laughing. He was not found being, extremely happy. وَأَتَتْهُ سَلَّةَ رُطَبٍ مِنَ الْأُرْضُنِ. And he was 2 baskets of rutab, of date, was brought to him. Atathu was brought to him. Min al-Urdun, from Urd. Urd is today what we term as Jordan. I hope that is clear. So, sallatun, it means a basket. Rutab is date. So, because there are 2, of course we all know the dual. When dual, okay, if you want to make a noun dual, you add alif or noon. But when that dual is mudaf, the noon will disappear. So if I say kitabani, it means 2 books. But if I want to say the 2 books of Muhammad, the 2 books now become the mudaf. So the one of the noon will disappear. The noon will disappear. If a dual now is mudaf, the noon will have to disappear. So I will now say kitaba Muhammadin. I will say kitabani Muhammadin. I will say kitaba Muhammadin. Kalama Muhammadin. But it's initial kalamani. Kitabani, daftarani. But if it is mudaf, the noon will go away. So kitaba Muhammadin, daftara Muhammadin, kalama Muhammadin. So the same thing here. Sallata is initial sallatani, but sallata rutabin, 2 baskets of date. Atathu was brought to him. Okay. Min al-Urdun, from Jordan. Faqala, then he said, Ma haza, what is this? Qalu rutabun. They said, it is date. Min al-Urdun, from from Jordan. Qala, he said, alama ji'a bihi. On what was it brought? Or on what did they brought it here? Alama ji'a bihi. This alama is in simplicity alamaza. On what? You mean what carried it to this particular point? On what was it? If you want to transport something, you put it on something. Let's say there's a donkey, okay, or a particular animal. Then you put load on it. Then it transfer the load to a particular point. So, if you want to ask what brought this goose here, so you can say alamaza ji'abihi. On what was this goose brought here? Remember what carried and brought it here. So that's similar thing. So if the simplest way of saying it is alama. Okay, but this means alamaza, on what. So alama ji'abihi, on what did they brought it here? Okay. We have similar things like limaza. Then you say lima. Okay, lima zahabta ila kaza wa kaza. Why did you went there? So. Okay, but it means limaza, but you cut it short. I hope that is clear. Okay, so that's similar thing that we have here. Alama, meaning alamaza. Ji'abihi, was it brought? Qalu, the people replied by saying that ala dawabil barid, on the delivery animal. Ala dawabil barid. Barid also, of course, we all know barid is delivery. Okay, delivery. Even the post offices, they are called maktabul barid. Okay, we have seen this before. Okay, we even saw a lesson that was named barid. Okay, delivery, when we do our delivery messages. So dawabil barid, meaning that postage animals. Okay, I'm saying postage, delivery animals. Before, in the olden days, they used to do that. Okay, you want to transport something from this house to the other house, you just tie it on an animal, let's say a camel or a donkey, and then the donkey will send it. Okay, that was when animals were very, how do I say it? They had some kind of sense. They were trained to do this particular job. They will know where this is, where I should send this. Then they will get tied on the animal will send it. So these particular animals are called the delivery animals. Okay, that's what you see, the wabil barid. So they say one of the animal brought it, and that animal is a delivery animal. This animal brought it here. So this animal, they have removed it and made it solely for the Khalifa. Look at what he said. He replied by saying that, Qala, he said, فَمَا جَعَلَنِيَ اللَّهُ أَحَقَّ بِدَوَابِ الْبَرِيدِ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Then Allah has not made me more worthy of a delivery animal than the Muslims. As far as no other Muslim is given a specific animal for transporting his things, I shouldn't also be given the same thing. That is what he said. Very beautiful. Okay. He said this, Allah has not made me more worthy of a delivery animal compared than any other Muslim. Akhrijuhuma, remove them. Bimana, remove these two salataru tobin, remove these two baskets of date. Fabi'uhuma, and sell them. Wajahalu thamanahuma fi alafil dawabil barid, and make or put thamanahuma, their prices, the money you get from it. Okay, that's the saman, the price or the money you get from this, the sale of these two baskets of dates. Put it fi alafi dawabil barid, in the alaf, the fodder of the delivery animals. So these animals are a lot. It's from the property of the Muslim. The Muslim have these animals, a lot of them. Okay, and so one was selected specifically for him. So when he got to know that one has been selected for transporting his things, he didn't like that. And so that date that they brought to him, he said it should be sold. And then the money that they will get from it, okay, it should be put into the feeding system. The money that they use to feed those animals, it should be added to that money. That's what he said. So, fi alaf. Alaf we all know is fodder, animal feed, the food that the animal eat, whether grass or whatever, this kind of thing. That's what we call as alaf. In English, we simply say fodder. Okay. Washtarahuma fi suq. So they went to sell these two baskets of date to replace it in the money that is used to feed the animals. And so they say washtarahuma fi suq ibn akhihi, the son of his brother bought it from the market. So those who went to sell it in the market, fortunately, the son of his brother, who Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, his brother's son bought it. That's what he says. وَاشْتَرَاهُمَا فِي السُّوقِ ابْنُ أَخِيهِ. The son of his brother bought it from the market. وَأَهْدَى إِحْدَاهُمَا إِلَيْهِ. And he gifted one of it to him. So he bought it, and then he came and gifted one of it to him, to Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. How that is called ahda yuhdi, ahda, to give out a gift. Okay, فأكل, then he ate. وقال, and said, الآن طاب أكله. Now eating it has become nice, or eating it has become permissible. طاب أكله, eating it has become nice or appropriate or permissible. Okay, very beautiful. He says that وَدَخَلَ عَلَى بَنَاتِهِ ذَاتَ لَيْلَةٍ. One night he entered on his daughters. دَخَلَ عَلَى بَنَاتِهِ. He entered on his daughters one night. ذَاتَ لَيْلَةٍ, one night. فَوَضَعْنَا أَيْدِيَهُنَّ عَلَى أَفْوَاهِهِنَّ. And they kept their hands on their mouths. So they were sleeping while their hands, they used their hands to cover their mouths while sleeping. فَقَالَ لِلْحَاضِنَةِ. Then he said to the hardina. The hardina is the nursing mother. Okay, the nursing mother. He said to this nursing mother, okay, who serves in houses, مَا شَأْنُهُنَّ. What is their matter? The matter, what is wrong with them? That their hands are on their mouths. قَالَتْ. This nursing mother said, لَمْ يَكُنْ إِنَّهُنَّ شَيْءٌ تَعَشَّيْنَهُ إِلَّا عَدَسٌ وَبَصَلٌ. There hasn't been anything with them to use as dinner. Okay, لَمْ يَكُنْ إِنَّهُنَّ. There wasn't anything with them. تَعَشَّيْنَهُ, to use as dinner. Ta'ashya, it means to take your dinner. إِلَّا عَدَسٌ وَبَصَلٌ. Except lentils. Adasun is the lentils. وَبَصَلٌ, and onions. فَكَرِهْنَا أَن تَشُمَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَفْوَاهِهِنَّ. And they didn't like that this will smell from their mouth. شَمَّ يَشُمُّ, it means to smell. Okay, شَمَّ يَشُمُّ, it means to smell. They hated that this will smell. What will smell? The adasun and then the basal, the lentils and the onions. It will smell. Min afwahihinna, from their mouths. So they didn't get any food to eat. So they just took lentils and then the onions. They just chewed it, eat it. And there was no food. Fabaka Umaru. Umar cried when he heard this. Summa qala lahunna. Then he said to them, Ya banati, O my lovely daughters, ma yanfa'ukunna anta ashayna al-alwana wa yumarru bi abikunna ila an-nar. Ma yanfa'ukunna, what will it benefit you? Anta ashayna al-alwana, to take dinner with different colors of food. We have explained this before. Different colors of food, luxurious lives. Okay, you are having different colors of, yes, you are going to take dinner, and then there are different colors of food that is being prepared. Okay, if you go to places like king's houses, you see this kind of things that are done. All that is clear. Okay, وَيَمُرُّ بِأَبِيكُنَّ إِلَى النَّارِ, while your father is dragged to hellfire. What will it benefit you if I bring the Muslims, the property of the Muslims, for you to enjoy, and on the day of judgment I'll be dragged to hellfire? Will you love to see this? This is the question that he asked his children. Very emotional question. فَبَكَيْنَ حَتَّى عَلَتْ أَصْوَاتُهُنَّ. Then they cried. I mean, this emotion, there is an emotional question. If a righteous person should ask his father this, his children this kind of question, what will it benefit you if I should give you money from the Muslims' property to consume, such that on the day of judgment I'll be dragged to hellfire? Will you be able to withstand this? Is the hunger? I mean, is the hunger? Will you be able to will you be able to bear the hunger, or to bear seeing me being dragged into hellfire? Which one is better? And so they cried, فَبَكَيْنَ حَتَّى عَلَتْ أَصْوَاتُهُنَّ, until their shout, their voices, alat, it became high, very high. People from outside could hear them, could hear these daughters crying. Okay. So alat, as I said, the verb here is ala ya'lu, for something to rise to a high level. So hatta alat aswatuhunna, until their voices became very high. ووضع عمر حلي زوجته في بيت المال, and Umar kept, okay, wada, he put حلي زوجته, the jewelry. Oh, that is clear. This particular halyun, okay, when you see halyun, it means jewelry, okay, of his wife, fi bayt al-mal, in the money house of the Muslims. Wa arja'a mazari'ahu, and he returned his mazari'. Okay, mazari' bimana, this could be ism makan. Ism makan will be mazra'. The plural is mazari'. Okay, the place where we do cultivation. So literally his farm. Okay, so his farm, he had farm and other cultivation, like a farm, a place where he do his cultivation. All that is clear. وَأَرْجَعَ مَزَارِعَهُ إِلَى مَا كَانَ عَلَيْهِ فِي أَحْدِ الرَّسُولِ صلى الله عليه وسلم. How he returned his mazari', his farmlands, to how they were during the time of the prophets. The man, he didn't use the Muslims' property as an opportunity to boom it, to make it grow and develop and pump more resources into it, okay, for his selfish gain. He didn't do that. He just returned it to how it was before, during the prophet time. وَإِذَا كَانَ فِي حَوَائِجِ الْعَامَّةِ كَتَبَ عَلَى الشَّمْعِ. وَإِذَا كَانَتْ فِي حَوَائِجِ الْعَامَّةِ, and if it is in the general need, كَتَبَ عَلَى الشَّمْعِ, he write under the sham'. Sham' is the what we term as candle. Today we call it candle. Okay, in English, the candle. He used from the Muslims' property, of course. So if it is from the hawa'ij al-amma, what we say hawa'ij, we all know is needs, the plural of hajatun. Okay, al-amma means general. So general need, we mean the general need of the Muslims. Let's say he's writing a letter to another Islamic leader somewhere. So this is in the interest of the general Muslim community. So those kind of things which are in the interest of the general public, he used the shama, the candle from the Muslims' property. وَإِذَا صَارَ إِلَى حَاجَةِ نَفْسِهِ دَعَى بِسِرَاجِهِ. And if it becomes, is a sora, for something to become another thing, when the need changes, if it now become in his interest, maybe he finished writing the letter and he want to do his personal studies. They say that Sora ilaha da'a bisirajihi. He called for his lamp. So if it is now, if he's going to do something that is not a general public interest, he use his own light. Siraj, as we all know, is the lamp. Oh, that is clear. He has his lamp, so he will call for his lamp and then to be used. Oh, that is clear. They give a particular nice story about him. He said one time he was speaking with someone. He was having a discussion with someone. And the person, they were having a discussion on the general Islamic community. Like how the affairs of the Muslims. So, of course, this is something that is interest of the general Muslim community. So, at a particular point, and he lighted a candle that was from the properties of the Muslims. At a particular point, they saw that man that he was speaking with, he saw that he turned off the lamp, he turned off the candle. Abdul Aziz, he turned off the candle. So the man asked him, what have you done? We are speaking and out, all of the sudden, it's night time, all of the sudden, you just turn off the candle. He told him that their speech was initially in the interest or was about something that had an interest for the general Muslim public. But now that the conversation has now deviated from the public to personal interest, and so that is why he turned off the lamp. He doesn't want the lamp to be used in conservation, to be on. He doesn't want the candle to be on in utilization for something that is not in the general public. That was how, how do I say it, cautious this man was in terms of taking even a penny from the Muslims' property. So that is what they said here. وَإِذَا صَارَ إِلَى حَاجَةِ نَفْسِهِ. If it tends to become something that is of his own personal need, دَعَى بِسِرَاجِهِ. He called for his own lamp. He will never use the lamp or any candle from the Muslims' property for his own personal things. وَقَدْ أَغْنَى عُمَرْ بْنُ عَبْدِ الْعَزِيزِ النَّاسَ. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he made the people rich. He made the people ghani. He made the people free of need. Everybody was, so you will come out and you are searching for beggar to give sadaqah, and you won't get. You You see it. His time, the community really changed. The community really changed. As I said, he just spent with it 2 years and some few months. Even up to today, books are still written on him, about him. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. He really did accomplish a great task. حتى لم يوجد فقيرا في بلاد المسلمين, until a point where you won't find a fakir, a poor person, في بلاد المسلمين, in the Muslim lands. ولم يوجد أحد يأخذ الصدقات, and you won't find anyone to give the sadaqah. If you have a sadaqah and you want to give it to someone, you won't find anyone to give it to him. This was how the community became. It really helped in the development of the Islamic community. So if you have a sadaqah, you want to give it to a poor person, you won't find someone to give it to. وَكَانَ لَا يُؤَخِّرُ عَمَلَ الْيَوْمِ لِلْغَدِ, and he used not to delay today's work for tomorrow. The man of procrastination. He used not to do those kind of things. وَلَا يَعْجَزْ. قَالَ بَعْضُ إِخْوَتِهِ. Some of his brothers told him, Ya Amir al-Mu'minin, oh, the leader of the Muslims, لَوْ رَكِبْتَ فَتَرَوَّحْتَ. لَوْ رَكِبْتَ فَتَرَوَّحْتَ. If you will ride and have fun. So they see him always, he's busy. He's working on projects. He's always busy working. And he will not procrastinate anything. So they just wish that he also rests more. So they tell him, Laura Kipta, if you, have you just taken a small ride? Fatarawata, and then you have some fun. Just take your horse, go around the house, maybe Jawla, just go around the communities and just have some fun. Small, a little bit. Qala faman yaqdi shughla zalika al-yawm. And who will qada yaqdi is to fulfill something. So he's asking faman yaqdi shughla zalika al-yawm, who will fulfill the work of that day. Let's say I decide today to take it off and have some fun. The work that I'm supposed to do today, who is the one who will accomplish them? Qala, he said, taqdihi min al-qad. So the person who is speaking with him, he tell him, you can accomplish it tomorrow. You just leave it. Have fun today. Today's work, you add it to tomorrow's own. Qala, he replied, laqad thaqula amalu yawmin wahidin. فَكَيْفَ إِذَا اجْتَمَعَ عَمَلُ يَوْمَيْنِ. The work of one day is heavy. It's something that is not easy on me. What about 2 days' work? If 2 days' work are coming to join together, assuming I combine 2 days' work to do on one day, how will it be? Even though one is not sufficient, one is very difficult for me, not to talk about 2 days. Mata Umar ibn Abdul Aziz sanata mi'a wa wahidun hijriya. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he died on the 101 year after Hijrah. This is the end of this beautiful story about Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. May Allah put barakah in all that they have done. May Allah not deprive them of the benefit and the reward that of this great accomplishment. We also pray to Allah to grant us the ability to follow their footsteps. Okay, great people like this, we pray that Allah grant us the ability to follow their footsteps. Jazak Allahu Khairan. Inshallah, we'll continue in the next lesson. Barakallahu li wa lakum fi Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikri al-Hakim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.